Good morning, Yelmari. Thank you so much
Good
for.
morning.
I don't know if it's morning for you. I just realized.
No, it's not. It's afternoon.
Oh, well, good afternoon then. I appreciate the chance
Thank
to
you.
chat with you. Um, Thank you so much for taking the time. Sisu is just a wild film. So much fun. Visual and I mean, well, visual is the word to describe it. This
Mm,
is a type of film that really wants to show you its themes and its ideas rather than explain everything to you, and I love
mm.
that about it. Can you tell me a little bit about what inspired that type of storytelling for you?
Probably it's the old like Sergio Leone westerns and films like that. Uh, and it's also it basically came from because I decided that the main character doesn't have that much dialogue uh, because he actually doesn't have anyone to talk to because he's Finnish and everyone else is from Germany. So it's it's somehow easy, but it really helped me when I was writing the film to think it more cinematic way, uh, because it's boring to explain everything in a dialogue. So I had to find out ways of using like images to explain what's happening, and I really loved it, and I'm gonna do more of that in the future.
Yeah, it's such a great way to draw in the audience, and I'm just wondering from you, what do you think the appeal is of the revenge story? It seems like they're back the last few years,
Mm,
but there's a lot going on here. This is not your typical revenge story in a lot of ways. What do you
mm.
think the appeal is?
I don't know. To me, it's something like the movie is a way to do things that you might think that would happen in real life, but they basically never do, and it would be impossible to do it in real life. So it's some kind of escapism of seeing somebody who is treated badly to like give them hell, killing everyone. I think it's really satisfying to me, at least, to like that you shouldn't have fuck with that dude kind of stories, like First Blood here in the background.
You know,
I don't know.
that's a great comparison. That's a great
Mm,
First Blood is a great comparison to this film, um, because in both cases you have heroes that are just willing to go over the top in
mm,
their vengeance. It's cathartic for them almost in some ways.
yeah, and you don't know anything about these characters in the beginning, and you started to find out from later on and who is this guy basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with that being said, maybe not quite the case with John Rambo. Maybe it is the case with John Rambo, but certainly the case with. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Atami?
Yeah, Atami. Yeah,
Atami. Do you consider Atami to be a hero? What drives him?
uh, I don't think he's a hero. Like he's not that like a nice guy either. Like he has lost his family in the war, and he has basically lost everything, and he's fed up with war, and he's fed up with everything, and he's trying to basically find a new like something to hold on to, something new. He's trying to think if gold is his like way out or something, would it give him happiness? And of course the war don't like leave him alone. It comes again, and Adam has to go to that dark place where he actually is really good at, like killing everyone. And of course, he doesn't enjoy that. He doesn't want to do it. He has to do it. It's about, I think it's about justice and a matter of principle also. Like you just you're fed up of bad guys doing stupid shit, and you don't have anything anymore. So I'm gonna fucking kill them all.
Well, having said that, I love the way that the film describes Sisu as what I think the definition you give is a white knuckle form of courage and unimaginable determination.
Mm.
But I was wondering, in a film like this, I was wondering for you, what is the line between courage and justice and just outright violence, or is there a line?
Well, I don't know. In this movie, there actually isn't.
Yeah.
Like, uh, he just goes wild with it. Like, and that's what I uh, like of Sisu film, because I didn't have like $100 million budget, so I had to be inventive and clever with the shit what's going on in the film to be audience like surprised all the time, because I'm pretty sure no one has any kind of clue what's going to happen next in the action scenes, and how does Artemis survive this and this and this and this. And I really enjoyed the process of inventing that kind of stuff.
Well, I was going to ask you about that because I was wondering, and this is a strange question to ask in some ways, what were those production meetings like? Because what, did you just sit down and say, okay, how can we explode this person differently than the last 3 weeks? Like, I saw the trailer for this when I went to see John Wick in theaters, and
Mm.
in the trailer, I went, I have never seen anything like this before. Um, like, what was it? Just fun to come up with all these different ways to get him out of these scenarios?
It was hard, but it was fun when I finally got the idea. Basically, like, my favorite idea is how to survive underwater, but uh, I was laughing my ass off when I got that idea. uh, Basically, it's all in the script. I've done so much of like physical effects with all my things I've done since I was something like 16 or something. So I knew very well what's like possible and what's not, in a way. So I did the figuring while I was writing.
Okay. Well, you're absolutely right when you say audiences have no idea what they're in for. uh, what do you hope, just as we wrap up, what do you hope audiences take away from the film?
Well, I hope they will understand what Sisu means, and and I hope they will have a really good time of watching something different than, like, if you compare it to like John Wick. Of course I like John Wick, but it gets a little bit repetitive. How do you say it? With the kills, like, it's basically the same stuff going over and over and over and over and over again. In this case, it's gonna be something more deep, like weird.
I love that. That it absolutely is. Yamari, thank you so much for the
How do
time.
you say this word? What I was saying, repetitive.
Repetitive,
Okay, thanks.
repetitive. Yeah, that was I knew what you meant. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Film's a blast in more ways than one. Have a great day, and I wish you the best.
Thank you.